Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lovely to have you here. Thank you, Renee, Estelle, Calvin. I had almost 40 people register for this morning, so I'm hoping some more people come in. But let me know you can hear me and you can see my slides. So good morning. Please just let me know in the chat box you can hear me clearly and see my slides. It is just a minute before 9, making sure all the technical side is all working. So in the chat box, please go ahead, let me know that you can hear me and see my slides. There. Good morning, Renee and Corin from Ida, Inspired Benoni. Hello, lovely to have you here. Thank you so much. All right, there we go. Lots of people are coming through the waiting room now, right on time. Okay, and good morning. All right, so you can hear me, perfect. You can see my slides, wonderful, lovely to have you. Lots of people coming through. Please go ahead in the chat box and let me know, where are you dialing in from? Where are you dialing in from? So we've got Corin and Renee from Benoni. There we go. Where are you dialing in from? A few more people coming in. Wonderful. Hi, Bridget, Calvin, Estelle. All right, from Pietermaritzburg, Calvin, Russell from Johannesburg. A few more people in the waiting room. Let me just open up there. Fantastic. We got Bridget from Cape Town, Almeen from Pretoria. Hello, hello, hello. And one of the other things I'd love to hear, Estelle from Hoedspruit. Hi, Estelle. I work with lots of people in Hoedspruit. I love that. Can't wait to go back there. What industry are you in as well? What industry are you in? So let's just let me know where you're dialing in from and what industry are you in. So I know that Renee and Karen are in real estate. We've got, all right, from pharma. Thank you. What industry are you in? Hello to everyone else. Please go ahead, let me know where you're dialing in from and also what industry are you in. All right, from higher education, University of Pretoria. Hi, Almin. Real estate as well. Thank you, Russell. Interior design. Hi, Chili Ann. Human resources, higher education. Okay, more people coming in. There we go. Let me know what industries are you in. And if you want to put on your camera, please feel free. I always say, if you were, yesterday I did this presentation, I did one live, one online, but in person, you don't ever sit there and put a brown paper bag over your head. So if you're comfortable, put your camera on. Thank you. I love feeding off it. Thank you, Julie, and yay, yay, yay. I love feeding off your energy as well and being able to see you and put a name to your face as well. So welcome to everyone. You've all confirmed you can hear me clearly. You've answered different industries that you're in. Some more people are still coming in. Hi, Anzal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But we are, there we go. Almin, thank you very much. Cameras on. And wonderful. Some more people still coming through. Fabulous. We have office renovations in the background. Very noisy. Not to worry, because you are on mute for now. But I would also just like to share that during the course of our session today, I would love to answer some questions at the end. So please do feel free, if you have any questions, jot them down. You're welcome to type them in the chat box, or we can have a conversation. I can unmute you. But for me, questions for me are always very valuable. And I often do, just around communication, speak, ask me anything. So please do jot down any questions that you may have as well. Well, I'm going to dive straight in, and I want to welcome you. This is Speak with Impact. My name is Nikki Abraham. I'm the host and the trainer, but today's masterclass is from awkward to authority in confident communication. So why do we feel awkward when we speak? Now, in the chat box, just let me know with a 1, do you love sending voice notes? 1, love sending voice notes. 2, despise them. Let me know in the chat box. 1, you love sending voice notes. 2, you despise them. All right, so Renee says 1, 2, okay, 4. Okay, so quite a few of you. So we're sitting on a 50-50 right here. Yeah, well, one of the things I love doing is voice notes, but I'm always very clear when I'm working with clients. It's one of the questions I ask them: are you a voice note person, yes or no? Because a lot of my clients are no. And that way, then I would never do a voice note. However, with my friends, I love to do voice notes. Like Anzel says, yes, no problem. It's just quicker. I also find sometimes I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see to type it out. So it's just easier to do a quick voice note. But one of the things I do sometimes is between my training sessions, I'll go through my WhatsApps, answer a few WhatsApps with voice notes, and then I jump onto another training session. And then when I come back to the response, sometimes they'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. Or that was so funny. Or I loved what you said. And I'm like, well, actually, what did I say? Because I've sent 5 voice notes. So let me go back to your voice note, Almeen. What exactly did I say to you? And how often when we re-listen to our voice notes, do we go, does my voice really sound like that? Who, yeah, absolutely loves their voice. Got lots of people saying no. And Zal says yes, fantastic. And then nope, nope. Okay, I do voice notes, learning to like the sound of my voice. Awesome, Simpewe. But most people I've worked with have just said to me, like, I can't stand the sound of my voice. But do you know your voice is the only thing you can't change? You can improve it. You can work on tone. You can work on sound. You can work on, work your speaking faster, slower articulation. But we can't change the sound of our voice. So how can we let go of that despising our voice and start falling in love with it? Now, how many of you are comfortable doing videos? So either social media marketing, doing little videos. Do you know you can send video notes to your friends, to your clients? Let me know in the chat box. Who loves doing videos? Anzel says, I don't mind my voice because I've had training. Wonderful. Definitely not. I've felt those capitals. Madeleine says no. Simpiwe says never. No, 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 no way. Well, when I learned to do videos, I almost felt like I was becoming possessed. I'm talking like this if I'm having a cup of coffee with you, then suddenly I'll pick up my phone or a camera would come on and I'd be like, hi, my name's Nikki. And it's almost like I'm completely taken over with a different persona because the fear and the nerves kick in. But if you could learn simplified tools, if you could learn a very simplified skill to help you with the confidence of doing a video, how much would that help you? Now, I know going back and looking at videos, I used to absolutely cringe. But now I can go back, like Almin said, I don't love it, but I've learned I have to do it. The importance of doing videos in this day and age has tenfolded because 2 weeks ago they've stopped. You can't do cold calling anymore. Right. So those of you in business who have to do cold calling, those of you in real estate, we need to find another option. And I want to share some of those things with you today. I know for myself, when I started learning these tools around communication, I'm quite confident, have no problem talking. I've been training for over 20 years. But often I used to feel like I could stand in front of a webinar, a group of people, step into a big room and feel like I've got plums in my mouth. Like nothing was coming out impressively, like nothing flowed. In fact, I used to feel like a washing machine spin cycle, just throwing words out, spitting words out endlessly, and not speaking clearly and concisely. But once again, for the last 6 years, I've invested in myself doing public speaking courses, becoming co-coaches, becoming a TEDx K-Ton speaker coach, before still working with 2 American coaches every single week and focusing on my communication skills to help me with these simplified tools. But recently, I placed a video, did a little video, put it on Facebook, and I ran a marketing campaign. And what I realized, if any of you are feeling the same way, you're not alone. My video was asking the questions I asked you. How many of you love your voice? How many of you can listen to your voice notes? Or how many of you feel stuck in communication? That was a marketing campaign that I did with a video reel that was less than a minute. On there, I had a call to action. Please share your name, your surname, your phone number, and what are your pain points. I spent 1,000 Rand on this marketing campaign, and in return, I got 275 responses. What that has allowed me is firstly to have an opt-in that now I can call 275 people because they have responded with a yes, with a phone number, and with their pain point. But what's really fascinating for me was how many people expressed what I've heard so often from so many different people. Out of the 275 people, I had all different industries there, from real estate to CEOs to marketing directors to HRs to entrepreneurs to teachers to pastors, but so many different careers and all different ages. But the pain points were the same. The ones that popped out the most were confidence. I forget my words. I get nervous. I don't know how to articulate. I get anxious when I talk. To some people, feeling like they just start overthinking and then can't express what they want to say. Some people are stuck with one-to-one meetings or speaking to a few people, doing presentations. It could be meetings, losing their train of thought. Quite a lot of people said, Nikki, we're really stuck with our filler words, the ums, the likes, the ahs. But what I realized is that we are not alone. Now, none of you are here because you have a problem with communication. We can all speak, but if you can learn a skill that helps you think your thoughts through to speak clearly, concisely, and land a point in less than 30 seconds, what difference would that make for you? So why do we feel awkward when we speak? One, how many of you overthink what you should say on calls? And before you make that call, so it's almost like you start quivering, going, I'm going to phone and Zell, but I hope I land the point and I hope I say what I need to say. And it's like you don't want to afterwards go, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell her this and now I need to phone. It's like you're trying to catch up. How many of you avoid videos or don't feel confident showing up? Now, I can say, like Almin said, I don't like it, but I do it. I must say, I've yet to meet one person who loves doing videos because we judge ourselves so much. But what is it costing you not doing those videos? Or how many of you struggle to clearly explain your value? You walk away and you're like, oh, I forgot to tell them I can do this. Or do they actually have a clear understanding of what value I can offer to their business? Did I land that point? Or you want to sound more professional, calm, and in control? And more importantly, some of us, we know our communication is holding us back. I go to multiple networking events and I see so many people who firstly show up, which is excellent. But when they're given the opportunity to introduce themselves, they go incredibly shy. That by the end, they're kind of falling backwards and they will slip out as fast as they can. And they haven't had the opportunity to introduce themselves, share their value, and see why we should be working with them. The truth is, if you can't say it clearly, you can't sell it. And in business, communication is everything. How many of you can agree with that? Right? Just let me know. Just let me know with a yes in the chat box. Do you agree that communication is everything. Just reading the messages as well. There we go, Luxembourg. I feel like I'm always rushing, and at the end of it, I end up leaving out the most of the things I want to say. And sometimes some people, those are the most important points, correct? All right, so a lot of you are saying yes, 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 absolutely. So I want to ask you, where is your unclear communication costing you? Let me know in the chat box. Where is your unclear communication costing you? I mean, if you've got an opportunity to do a presentation for a client or a meeting, are you closing those deals? If you're doing a call with the client and you want to set up a meeting, are you booking those appointments? Okay, Julie Ann says showing authority. Absolutely. Showing that you're the expert in what you do. So where is unclear communication costing you? Is it costing you in sometimes not even showing up? Is it costing you in the nerves of saying, what if? Is it costing you in not sharing your value? There we go. Almin says conveying expertise. How often have you given the opportunity to do a presentation of the value you offer and you don't close the deal? Is it because of unclear communication? Love that, Calvin, showing the end goal and the expectation. Exactly. That's what people want. They want the outcome. And if we can't convey the outcome, we're not going to make the deal, right? So when we look at all these different things, we can see how much unclear communication can cost us, right? And Zal, my challenge is finding the audience and then the hard preparation to start. So again, the outcome is still vague. There we go. So how do we work on that to have clear communication in what we want to learn? And again, putting yourself in front of the right audience. But you want to put yourself in front of an audience that you feel clear, confident that you can share what you need to say with the skill you can learn. So today I'm only going to teach you one skill, one simplified skill, one tool. And I have multiple different tools that I offer in my Speak with Impact for effective communication. But today I want you to walk away with one tool that you can apply to every single meeting, to a call, to a presentation, and every time you have the opportunity to sit in front of someone else. Because often people say to me is, I'm comfortable with one-to-ones, but as soon as there's more than one person, I lose my tongue. And if we think about this, right here, how many people I'm speaking to? There's 11 of us in total. But I've run webinars for 400, 500 people. I've done public speaking gigs for 5,000 people. So whether I'm speaking to one person or 5,000, I do it with exactly the same amount of energy and confidence because I've learned the skills to land it. Now, if you're going to do a listing presentation or you're going to speak to someone and they go, oh, no, you think it's a one-to-one. And next thing they say, I've just brought in my team because I think my whole team should hear exactly what you say. And then you go, if you learn these skills, you will do it with the same amount of confidence from one-to-one or one-to-many. And if you're like me, confident with speaking, but sometimes do not prep. This is the old me. And I used to then be on a washing machine spin cycle, spitting words out. Sometimes you could even talk yourself out of a deal. And this is the important part of focusing on that one skill. So most people don't need more words. They need structure in their communication. And that's why I'm only going to share one tool with you today. That is a skill that you could use in structuring a phone call, a networking event, a meeting, handling objections, or going out with a group of people. So before I dive in, my slides change before that. Before I dive in, I have almost 40 people registered for this morning. Can I just ask you a favor to drop your email address in the chat box? Because I want to make sure as soon as I finish today, I want to tag you and send you an email to say thank you so much for coming. And then we're going to dive in. And that way I can just make sure yesterday I completely forgot. And I want to make sure I don't forget today. So just drop your email address. If you're not comfortable sending it to all, you can send it just directly to me as well. And let me catch up on some of our chats. Some people says, my challenge is I think I exude lack of confidence and losing what I want to say. Very valid point. Okay. Almost like being a politician. They talk for so long, but in the end, it's like, what did they actually say? Exactly that, Julianne. Are they landing their points? All right. So thank you so much. I see all the email addresses coming through. Fantastic. So let's start focusing on what structure do we need? How often do we step in front of a group of people and we feel like our brain is spinning? Am I going to remember what I need to say? My mind is moving. I mustn't forget this point and this point. And overly then, sometimes we do the waffle or we forget what we need to say. And when you have structure, what that does is helps you land different points. Now, every course I offer simplified tools. I like working smarter, not harder. And that's why today I'm sharing a 3-step simplified tool to help you bring your brain to calmness, focus on preparation so that you can win those clients and close the deals. Now, learning how to speak clearly without notes. Because when you have the opportunity to do that phone call or step into that networking event or going to a braai with a group of friends or stepping into a meeting, the last thing we want to be doing is holding up and going, all right, so welcome everyone, and reading off notes, because immediately it takes away your authority and your expertise of what you need to know. So the 3-step process before you do a phone call, a networking event, a meeting, handling an objection, or going out with a group of friends is 3 things. The first thing is, why are you doing it? What do you want to share? And what outcome do you want? In fact, I like to start with the end in mind. So if we utilize this on a phone call, what outcome would I like from a phone call? Well, depending why I'm phoning. So if I'm going to phone Julianne after today's session, why am I phoning Julianne? To say thank you for joining my masterclass. What do I want to ask her? What would the questions be? What outcome do I want? Maybe it's just to get feedback because we attend the same networking functions. I want to find out more from her. How did she feel about the masterclass? Right? So that's my why, my what outcome. However, I could also use it for a phone call, like I've done for this 275 people that gave me their phone number and their email addresses and their pain points, that I can phone them, which I have, and gone, why have I phoned them? Because they've reached out to me. What do I want to say? Thank you for reaching out to me. You told me your pain points. What I'd like to find out is, how can I serve you? My outcome is, can I share more information with you? Or can I invite you to a masterclass? Or how can we continue? How can I continue helping you? So my biggest first outcome would be starting small. May I add you to my database so you can get my emails, my weekly emails of value around communication? My second one would be, why don't you come join a masterclass? That way we get to know each other. Let's have a conversation. And we start building a relationship. So that would be my phone call. My why, my what, my outcome. What about going to a networking event? How many of you, just let me know in the chat box, how many of you go to networking events where you go and stand up in front of a group of people? It's your opportunity to introduce yourself. Most of them, you get 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60 seconds, sometimes 2 minutes to tell everyone what it is that you do. How many of you do networking events? Or you avoid them because, oh my gosh, you're going to put me on the spot. And now I have to introduce myself. Okay, so Russell says, really? Sometimes I don't like the time limits, Julianne. Okay, and often it is like that. Certain networking events, you've got 45 seconds if you're a visitor and a minute if you're part of their networking event, and then that bell rings. And some people are still reading their name. And you have to, next, right? So let's think about it. Used to, it's great for but the presenter moved away. All right, so you can start your own one, Ansel. So think about a networking event. How do we use this? The why, the what, the outcome. Why am I attending a networking event? My goal of why would be, I want to meet new people. What would I like to achieve? I would love to meet 3 new people that I can potentially serve my business to, or they can help me with my business. So for me, it's just not going about getting business. It's about going, oh, that person's got something that I would love that's going to help my business. And then I also like to say, who is not necessarily my client and I'm not their client, but who can I introduce them to? So that's what I'd love to do at a networking event. I want to network. My outcome is I want to walk away feeling like I've got new contacts. I've re-spoken to people that are currently my contacts, and I can refer and serve someone else as well. So every time I go to a networking event, I walk away going, yes, I've got 3 new contacts. I've got 3 people I can refer, and potentially I've reconnected with 3 people. Clear, concise communication. When I'm going into a meeting, and again, you focus on your time structure. Why have I got this particular meeting? What do I want to share? What outcome do I want? So a few days ago, not a few days, sorry, last week, a client reached out and she's in the real estate game, and she said to me, I really want to have a meeting with you because I want to pick your brain. Now, I love those meetings, right? I love giving you all my IP and all my expertise to pick my brain. But I was very clear why we're meeting, what was the intention, what outcome did I want, and what outcome did she want. So specifically, what helps me there is also to stay clear and concise. Because it's happened before. Husband goes out with his friends, comes home, and I go, so how's the wives? I don't know. And the kids? I didn't ask. And what's happening with with his business? I forgot to ask. Well, what did you talk about? Boyfriends. Right? How often do we even go out with a friend and you come home and you're like, what did we even talk about? So I utilize this, the why, the what, the outcome for phone calls, networking events, meetings, handling objections, and even if I'm going to a local bride. Sometimes I think about you get invited to something, you're like, oh, I really don't feel like being around lots of people. Well, why am I going? What do I want to do? What outcome do I want? And it's just having clear, specific guidelines. When I meet with a girlfriend for coffee or a friend, even this lady wants to pick my brain, my outcome is I can fill her cup and she can fill my cup too. Right? That I always walk away from anything with a positive. And if not, then I relook at that going forward. Does that make sense? So if we start thinking about the why, the what, the outcome, this will help us with every single phone call. How do you want to open that phone call? Why are you phoning? Introducing yourself. What do you want to do? Is it a connecting with them and you want to guide the conversation to the outcome that you want? This can also help you when you're at the networking events. Why are you there? So you want to learn how to introduce yourself without rambling. Because like some of you said, I don't like it because of the time restriction. I have a simplified tool, not the one I've shared with you today, for every single opportunity I'm sharing here. And they introduce yourself at a networking event. I have learned to use the simplified tool that I can introduce myself in 60 seconds, 45 seconds, or 30 seconds as the elevator pitch. But even in 30 seconds, I can land my point that every time I've attended a networking event, I've got a new client because I no longer ramble. I no longer go on my washing machine spin cycle. I speak clearly and concisely. It's about how to learn using this tool so you can explain yourself, your value, and build trust when you go and step into a meeting. And either doing a presentation for the board of directors or for your bosses or a new client, that you don't get there, use up all your time, and at the end go, oh, I forgot to tell them this and this and this. We can utilize a simplified tool of how to speak on camera. That more importantly, there's a simplified tool that you can use, and I share this, speaking on camera, how to grab that hook, speak naturally, and get that call to action. So even here, I hope you feel like we're sitting around a coffee table having a conversation. That's how I like to train and coach, but also how I like to come across on videos without getting the, hello, my name's Nikki, and I am now going to coach you on this masterclass. So how do we do this naturally? And how often do we get in front of a client or on a phone call and they just say no? So more importantly, the tools I share with you of how to stay calm when you get a no. Because for me, a no stands for next opportunity. So do you see here today, none of us have a communication problem. We have a skill problem. And even though today I've just shared one tool with you, I have multiple tools for each of these processes that it helps me when I step into a meeting, the tool to use. It helps me when I do a networking function, the tool to use. But more importantly, that I can speak clearly, concisely, with impact to get the outcome I desire. So I'd love to introduce you to Sandra. And just to take 2 steps back before sharing more about Sandra, learning these communication tools that I'm sharing with you today. Even though I've been a trainer, I've shared with you for the last 6 years, I've really delved into a public speaking world and spent 2 years working as a coach alongside a professional coach within the public speaking sector. I did courses in Cape Town and in America. I became a Cape Town TEDx speaker coach. I've spoken on stages to over 5,000 people nationally and internationally. But I also realized not everybody wants to be a public speaker and stand on stage and do a 7-minute, 30-minute, an hour keynote presentation. And so many people were just struggling with what I've shared with you today. And that's why I actually built my Speak with Impact for effective communication in sales, to give you these simplified tools that I'm sharing with you now. And this I launched in 2024. Now, my first launch, Sandra was one of my first participants. And I like to work with small, intimate groups because everyone's feeling nervous. I like to say excited. So I want you to feel that you're comfortable on that playing field. But Sandra, at the first session, did her introduction. We do a 90-minute session for 12 weeks. And after the 3rd week, I asked her to send me a little video of how she's feeling. And I just want to show you the difference from week 1 to week 3. So allow me to introduce you to Sandra. Just give me a thumbs up that you can hear.
I've been in this industry for 15 years, East London, Knysna, Cape Town. I love challenges and I love to improve in my craft. My name is Sandra Robb. I'm with Pam Golding Properties, and I've recently joined Speaking with Impact with Nikki Abraham, and I'd like to give her a big shout out for the course that she's running.
If you saw that difference in 3 weeks, 3 90-minute sessions, imagine what that can do for you. And specifically, after 12 weeks, can I tell you where she is now? Everyone that I've worked with is now comfortable doing videos, doing video notes, been out there. And in fact, I follow her on social media and I stay up to date with what she's doing. She is consistently doing new videos on social media, and that has helped her business so much because she's become comfortable and confident in sharing what she does, how she does it as an expert. So I want to ask you, if I could help you structure your thoughts so you speak clearly without overthinking, how would that make you feel? Do you kind of just go, what? I can do that? Right. So Ansel says yes. And if I could help you explain your value in a way that people understand and trust instantly, would that change your results? And I can share this, that I've learned this along with my clients. Their results are incredible. And if I could help you show up confidently on calls, meetings, and videos as yourself, would that be worth learning? Let me know. Okay, some people says yes and yes. Very much. Yes again. One of my clients, Shane, recently completed Speak with Impact for Effective Communication, and she's a burnout coach. Now, some people have gone, what's a burnout coach? I think a lot of people know what burnout is, but it's when you've actually hit exhaustion. And sometimes we don't even realize we're burnt out until we're burnt out. However, she had never done videos. She decided to do a 60-second video. She posted it on TikTok. She boosted it using 100 Rand. She had over 10,000 views, and she's now been invited to speak on radio stations. Now, I'm watching her on different networking groups. We've become really close as well, and I'm just watching her business fly. And she said, Nikki, before I met you, I would never, ever have been able to do that. And that's what is worth learning. Now, if today has shown you that communication is not just a nice to have, but it's a skill that we can be taught to help us speak clearly, speak concisely, land our points with value, and more importantly, win our clients, close the deals. But what I love is you learn to fall in love with your voice, because it's our voice that we use that helps us in business and daily life. So inside my Speak with Impact, we build confidence through practice, structure, and real-world communication tools. But I specifically focus on communication, but not just verbal communication like I've shared with you today of different tools, although those are the biggest point. I also share tools and structure around non-verbal communication, which includes your body language, how you show up on camera. And what we don't even realize, we may speak beautifully, but if our body language is contradicting what we say, those land flat. And then I also focus on written communication, because the three of them go hand in hand. I also focus on working with different kinds of personalities, because different people speak differently or they interact differently to you. That you can utilize these tools of how do you verbalize to different kinds of personalities to match them, to mirror them, to get the desired result. So if you can learn on calls what to say and how to guide that conversation, that every time you have to do a call, you don't start shaking or get that lump in your throat. And if you can learn to step up at the networking event and introduce yourself with confidence that you don't have to read it off notes. But more importantly, every time you're connecting with new people that you could potentially help in business and they can help you too. And if you can learn comfortably and confidently to step into every single meeting to explain your value clearly, isn't that already worth it? And if you can learn to stand up, do videos naturally, comfortably, confidently, how much could that shift your business? I actually did a Wisdom Wednesday video this morning, and I was like, specifically for real estate and anyone else that does cold calling. Now with the new Puppy Act, you can't do cold calling. So doing what I did a couple of months ago on my lead magnet of doing a video, 275 people reaching out, those are contacts of people that may want to work with me, and already some of them are. So if you can do that naturally and confidently, sharing your expertise, wouldn't that be incredible? And also those pressure moments, how to handle the questions, how to handle objections, and let go of those nerves, that you can be comfortable and confident with your communication, that you may potentially turn that no into your next opportunity with handling all kinds of objections. So when I think about that, every time we have the opportunity to speak, words have power. And the course that I do offer, it gives you the tools, practice, and feedback for each one. And I would love just to share with you a little bit about my Speak with Impact for Effective Communication in Sales course, because I've seen the difference it's made to so many people's lives. And if this one tool I shared with you today has landed for you, how would it be if you learned so many more tools? That more importantly, it's not just about learning the tools, you learn how to apply the tool. It's an interactive workshop. So we work with you, me works with you. I am invested in you. I become a coach in your pocket to help you understand and to apply the tools. Because confidence is not just something you're born with. It's something you practice every single day. And that's the beauty of working on a collective group, of putting it into practice. Yes, I have lots of clients who go, I don't want to be in a group. I want to do this one-to-one. Very happy to work with you. But to put it into practice when everybody around you is feeling exactly the same and you build your confidence together is absolutely priceless. I have worked with so many different industries, so many different people, from the youngest of 20 to up to 82. And recently, one of my 82-year-old ladies, I said, you know what, you used to contact me all the time. You've gone very quiet. And she's like, I have just become so busy. I'm so sorry, because she's found her voice and she's out there sharing, mentoring, and leading others as well. So for those of you who haven't met me before, thank you so much for being here. Go and have a look at my Google reviews. Go and see what other people have said about me. On Google, I've got 155 star reviews. I've also got 40 reviews on Facebook. But recently, this is some of the comments that I've got back that I've pulled from my Google reviews. But Sharon Dell loved the Speak with Impact course. But she says it's packed with practical tools I could use immediately. Every week, you get a new tool that you put into application. Debbie McManara said she gained so much confidence in speaking that she's now planning on launching her own business podcasts. Isn't that incredible? Because she's comfortable and confident now to share the expertise of what she does. I had Nokwana. It was a truly outstanding experience. Nikki's warm, engaging teaching style made the learning both enjoyable and impactful. Vaughan, my progress from start to finish has been phenomenal. And it's all thanks to Nikki's patience and guidance. And then Dalmarie Koki, I've learned to speak more slowly and clearly and with more confidence. And I'm so grateful for the difference it's made. Dalmarie is now doing multiple videos, as is each other. All these different people. I need to do a speaking course, as everyone else here is as well, because they've taken these tools, they've learned how to apply them, and that's what's important. So my program components is, I'm actually launching a new program next week, Thursday. It is a 12-week program. It's 90 minutes per week, presented online like I'm doing right here via Zoom, presented live Q&As, interactive, but each session is also recorded and it goes onto a platform that you can go back and rewatch the sessions, and you have access for an additional 6 months after the course has been completed. I do live masterminds where I guide you, help you, work with you. Every session has a workbook. There's weekly assignments as well. And at the end, a certificate of attendance. Now, my winning attitude business, 6 years for my business. I shared with you that I've done 6 years ago, focusing specifically on public speaking. But as I'm celebrating my 6th year birthday in May, I have incredible specials on quite a few of my courses that I'd love to share with you. This is a one time for the year where I am offering specials, but I want to share with you your investment for this course for this month, the first 6 people. Yesterday, I did this live for a group of 12 people, and I had 6 people signed up immediately. It's a savings for the paying in full by 2,000 Rand. The course is 5,997, but I'm doing a savings of 2,000 Rand if you buy it in full. The value of this course from all my clients that have completed the course has all valued it at over 10,000 Rand. So your investment, if you want to pay in full, only time this month, first 6 people save 2,000 Rand. You can pay it over 2 months at 2,297 or over 3 months at 1,597 as well. I also want to share with you what the outcomes. You're going to structure your thoughts clearly. You're going to be comfortable and confident in your communication. You're going to speak confidently without sounding scripted. You're going to show up naturally on video, build trust through communication, handle pressure conversations calmly. You're going to learn how to network with confidence, explain your value clearly, and most importantly, communicate in a way that wins clients. Learning these simplified tools changes your life. And in fact, if anyone here is in leadership, the difference between a manager and a leader is effective communication. But I also want to share with you, if you're ready to go from awkward to authority, for the next 24 hours, like I've said, I've got this special only for May. Prices go back to normal at the end of May. But I am also offering some bonuses, which you will get, which is on-demand training sessions additional to what I'm offering you here today. And what they are, I'm just quickly dropping this link for you for sales. And what those bonuses are is some on-demand sessions from Go Getters Business Mastermind, something I run every Tuesday live for 30 minutes. You get to practice putting these tools into play. We've got over 30 people on the Go Getters Business Mastermind. Every week we focus on a new goal, accountability around the goal, but it's an opportunity to start practicing networking with lots of different industries around the country as well. And I've got national and international. You will learn how to handle challenging clients using a 6-step tool called Blast. I used to be the national customer service head for the Woolworths coffee shops for 14 years and overseen over 150 restaurants. So my job was handling all the complaints. So I had to develop a simplified tool to help me convert any unhappy client into a loyal one. You will also learn training AI to speak in your brand voice. You will get the art of goal setting and time mastery for success, and then how to handle client objections. All these, besides for go-getters, are pre-recorded, on demand. Watch them at your own time. Go-getters is an additional bonus that is live. So imagine what happens when you have a tool for every single communication moment. How much easier and simpler would your confidence and life be? That you're now knowing what to do, what to say at the right place and the right time. So my name's Nikki Abraham. I'm a public speaker strategist, a Cape Town TEDx speaker coach, and a leadership extraordinaire. And I love sharing simplified tools to help you speak clearly, concisely, with impact. And my goal for you is that you can fall in love with your voice, to speak confidently, so you can gain more clients and close those deals. And I would love to open now for any questions. I'm also just going to drop my email address in the chat box. So for anyone, if you are on that link, please do Remember, it will be there at full price. There is a coupon code to use that will be there to say, click on the coupon code to make sure you use that to get your 2,000 Rand discount. So any questions? Let me find out. Any questions, any ahas? I would love to hear from you. Any takeaways? Have you learned one thing new? And are you ready to learn some more? When does the course start? Thank you, Julie Ann. It starts next week, Thursday, the 21st of May, and it's from 8:30 until 10 o'clock. There's only one session, but I give you way enough notice, which will be a 2-hour session as opposed to a 90-minute session. All right. Thank you, Russell. Appreciate the 3-step tool. Have a magic day. Fantastic, Russell. All the best with your business, and I hope you're comfortable to start doing some videos to grow your database and bringing people into your funnel. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was an excellent session. Thank you very much, Calvin. Appreciate you. I do want to let you know I am running 2 more sessions next week. I love to make an impact. I love working with different people as well. And I hope that you got enough value today to learn just from that one tool that you are ready to open and learn a few more that can help you in any situation that you are. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you for great motivation, encouragement. 3 steps will definitely stick with me. Excellent, Almin. Thank you. Great session. Thank you, Bridget. I admire and congratulate your dynamic skills. Thank you, Anzel. I love sharing value. I love being able to help others. I love just to, everything when you learn something new, to share it with someone else is just such a passion of mine. And I'm sure so many of you as well. So when I find something that works for me, I want to share it with others. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box. And I'd love to know who's ready to dive in, take up this offer, save 2,000 Rand for the next launch, and ready to say, I am ready to learn new skills to make a difference in my business and my life. So please click on the link, go and have a look at what it says, what it entails, all the course details as well. And I would love, if there are any questions, you're welcome to ask. Otherwise, thank you. Have to run for a 10 o'clock class, but thank you for a great session. Thank you, Almin. Appreciate you. And otherwise, I'm going to say thank you very much for all being here. If there are no questions, you're welcome to also raise your digital hand. But if there are no questions, then please do feel free to reach out anytime, even just with the WhatsApp. Let me know. But I'm really, really, really looking forward to working with you. Empowering session currently in a specific priority finance place. Thank you. And so I'll send me an email. Let's see what we can do. Great session. Thank you, Nozipo. Appreciate you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Have a fabulous day going forward. Go and practice the why, the what, the outcome, and see how one simplified skill can transform your conversations. Thank you to everyone. Have a fantastic day. I will be sending you a thank you email as well with the link. I would love to see you in the next training session or on the next masterclass, or keep staying in my circle. Let's see how we can help and support each other. Thank you, everyone. Bye.